Hello YouTube, this is Matthew, and today I want to talk about consciousness. Or rather, I want to talk about consciousness through the lens of mindfulness. So I ran like a little experiment the other probably about less than a week ago or so. I wanted to see how long I could stay, basically, how long I could keep being mindful. And mindfulness, of course, just means being present, being aware of your feelings, your perceptions, the present moment, not being stuck in your head, in other words. So I wanted to see how long I could keep on detaching myself from my mind and just attempting to be, focusing on existing and not thinking about existing, or not thinking about other people thinking about me existing, not thinking about the past, not thinking about the future, and basically I was able to be mindful for roughly 48 hours. I mean, I was kind of slipping in and out of it here and there, but I was really very careful to be like, okay, I'm gonna remember, stay mindful. Focus on being a body. Don't focus on your mind. I was telling myself, there is no mind, there is no you. It's just being. And I was kind of shocked by the experience. Actually had went out with some friends on one of the days I was practicing mindfulness, and I probably got more out of that experience than I've gotten out of most social outings I've been a part of. So that is, as I said, very mind-blowing to me. It shows that, I guess, the way I was kind of living, that is to say, living in my thoughts, basically, just thinking from morning till night, and focusing mainly on that thinking, not thinking about, or not caring that much about, my senses, not caring much about my body, being detached from the world as is, and just kind of disassociating into your own mind. I realized you don't have to do that. You can live with sort of disassociating from your mind, as it were, or at least distancing yourself from your mind. You can be in the present, but you have to do it actively. It's very easy to fall into yourself. It's easy to let the ego, take charge, and just going about your life as an ego. But in that 48-hour period, roughly, I didn't really feel like I had an ego. I mean, that might be exaggerating it slightly. I mean, I don't think you can ever really fully get away from the ego. But I just felt like I was kind of observing the world. I felt like I was just along for the ride. I wasn't concerned with, oh, I gotta go talk to this person, or oh, I don't want to look stupid, or oh, I gotta do this tomorrow. Oh, I remember this event that happened 2 years ago. I'm such an idiot. Because I don't know about you, but my mind, it's monkey brain. It's all over the place. It comes up with crazy ideas that you just have the most random thoughts at the oddest times. Memories you haven't thought about for years will just pop up and you'll be like, what the heck is that? And I'm the kind of person who suffers or has suffered from anxiety and depression. And I think part of that comes from part of anxiety and depression. A component of anxiety and depression is being stuck in your head. It's almost, mental illness is almost a disease of thought. Its origin can come from negative thought patterns. Now that might not be where you might not come up with, like the negative thought patterns might start from you being in a very bad environment, let's say, but I think the analogy is somewhat apt at the very least. And it's not to say I didn't feel a little anxious during that brief window. It's not to say I didn't have. There was one moment when I had someone said something to me and I had an anxious thought about it, and I was like almost getting sucked back into it, but I managed to just keep on doing what I was doing, and the thought was trying to hold on, and ultimately I didn't pay it much heedance, and it went away. So I think when we talk about consciousness, therefore, I suspect that, when many of these, I suspect that we are really, on an average day, operating at in a very specific mode of consciousness. And in some ways that's almost unconsciousness, or it's consciousness of not of what it feels like to be you in this moment, but whatever monkey brain is coming up with in any particular moment. And also when I was mindful, I also felt, not only did I feel like a detachment from my ego, I felt I wasn't thinking about like free will or making choices. I wasn't thinking about, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, or I don't want this, I don't want that. I was just doing things without deliberating about them. I was just acting. I was just there, almost like the actions were passing through me, rather than me doing those actions. So this was just a one brief experiment, and I'm sure I'm going to try to keep doing it, but I'm sure I didn't get the full experience out of it. And I've also done meditating before, and I didn't have that same experience of detachment from the ego, but I did have a decrease in anxiety and a decrease in negative thoughts when I was meditating on a regular basis. So I do plan to keep on exploring this realm of experience, because I think there's something here that's truly fundamental to experience, but I just ignored it for most of my life. I'm not a religious person, so it didn't really occur to me to look for knowledge about consciousness from, say, Buddhism, to take one example, or from Alan Watt. But I think I was wrong to dismiss those things. I was definitely wrong to dismiss meditation. I used to think, meditation is a complete waste of time. I don't know what people are talking about. I don't want to sit there and just do nothing and just be. I can't do that. I have to be up and moving and active and doing things and distracted. Then I tried meditation. I was like, whoa, this is, again, I'm sure I didn't have the full effect, but I did it enough to recognize there was an effect, and a positive effect at that. So yeah, I just wanted to share these thoughts. This isn't, what I'm talking about here isn't a cure-all. It's not going to solve all my problems. It's not going to, turn the world into a utopia or turn my life into a perfect life. But I do think I've struck gold. I do think I've come upon some wisdom that I need to incorporate, so I don't go back to old unhealthy habits. I was having trouble after that 48-hour period. I just kind of fell back into my ego, and that's kind of where I've been ever since. But I'm gonna try to try to do that again, little by little, and see where it takes me. Yeah, I think the Buddha, well, I'm not a Buddhist, might have been onto something. He might have predicted what the certain neuroscientists or cognitive scientists are only now beginning to understand. Well, I was going to end with talking about whether consciousness is an illusion or not, because I think it probably is, but there's also panpsychism, which apparently that doesn't sound as stupid as I think it is, just like meditation, right? It's like, apparently there's some arguments that people think are at least worth exploring that go beyond, like, the universe is consciousness. Like, yeah, bro, like I'll chuck that out the window with the idea of God and the tooth fairy and the Easter bunny and all this other mumbo jumbo you're trying to shove down my throat. Take a hike. But I think I'll leave it at that. I think I won't tackle that today. But yeah, I think I've found out something. I feel like I'm closer, say, to escaping Plato's cave. Thank you for watching, and take care.